Midwind.
Hello.
Are you fine?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm pretty good. And how are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Well, we did a video recently, but it wasn't very well with the technique, so we will have to do it again here, and hopefully it will work.
Yeah, we have to pray the best what we succeed with this video. So.
Yes. Tor, you are from Sweden, but you live in England nowadays.
Yeah, that's right. I'm from Sweden, the southern part of Sweden, a town called Malmö, where I'm original from. And at the moment, I am in England, and I'm planning to moving over to Wales. So that's going to be my new place to stay in Wales the next couple of weeks, I hope.
That sounds lovely. Well, you are a healer, and you do it in distance healing, isn't it so?
Yeah, that's right. I have done this form of distance healing, what I'm doing today, since 2009, and before that I did what you call face-to-face healing, where I meet people individual for healing sessions. So this is the form of distance healing I'm doing now. I have the night healing. I doing healing during your sleep, because I have participants from all over the world. So I do that twice a week, and then I also have my new moon healing. And the new moon healing is for people who have more like a spiritual experience doing the healing. And also with the new moon is also to start up new things. If you want to start up a new life, or if you want to quit some habits you can have that as a new start doing the new moon healing sessions, or what your goal are. And basic days I focus more on the spiritual experience doing the new moon healing, and the ordinary night healing, it's for healing the person. But there's many people who sign up for the new moon healing as well, and they get the benefit from the healing energy, and the healing energy help them with their illness they have. So.
Well, I saw you put out some video. You were visiting a place, with the stones.
Yeah, that is Roll-Right Stones in England. It's outside of Shipping Norton in England. It's approximately something between Stratford and Oxford between Birmingham and Oxford, just middle of those two places. There is a stone setting. Not exactly sure how old it was, 3,500 years old or 3,500 years before Christ. I'm not a little bit sure about that. But that is a stone circle where it's like the energy center just in the place, and it's very peaceful to be there. The place beside have just made a road who's cutting very close to the stone circle, so that is a little bit sad, but it's a nice area to be in, a place where you have a little bit more energy, or you're out in the nature. I prefer to do my distance healing when out in the nature, because then you're closer to the Mother Earth's energy.
I have used your distance healing sometimes. I have written in my name and so, but I always believe that you I thought, how does he do? Does he sit every night and Mondays and Wednesdays? But you go to these places, is it so?
Yeah, what I do with my distance healing, because when I have people from all over the world, like it's from New Zealand, if you're then going west, and then you have lots of country and to Hawaii and Pacific Ocean, and there is many time zones, and I can't sitting up all day and doing my distance healing. So I always doing my my distance healing before the actual time.
Mm.
So I do it every Monday afternoon, uh, going out in the nature, and then I do my meditation and make my prayer for all of the people who have signed up, because healing is not bound by time. Like you have a physical healing, then you're doing it straight away to the person, and healing is not bound to a time. So I can, for example, uh, make my special prayer on meditate for healing for you, but you might not receive it at the moment. You might receive it later on.
Mm.
And also I've been where I have like healing meditation groups, where I have a group of people, and some people they sensing the healing energy before I started. So there is
Yeah.
some connection who is just outside of my mind who started up, and I always say I don't do the healing. That is the person who is the healer who receiving the healer. I just it's a person who is like a switch, starting the process for the person to receive the healing. When I have something between 850 and 1600 people on one single sessions, or what you say, a day, for example, the new moon healing sessions. I don't know all of those 1600 people, and I don't know what they expecting and looking for. I'm just like a channel for it. I
Mm.
make my webpage, and people can go in there and sign up, and they can write what they need help for. That is something it's
Mm.
they make their prayer for what they need help for, and then I
Mm.
just make my meditation, make my prayers, and then it's started the healing process. And how it's really working in the detail, I'm not the man to explain it, but I've done it since springtime 2009, and there's people who participate week after week after week, and go year after year after year, and they get
Mm.
benefit for it. And some of those people have been for the private healing session, or been on my group for healing meditation, and they say they get the same benefit for the distance healing.
Mm.
And then
And you do it with donation. So
yeah, working only with donation, because there is lots of people who living on different kind of benefits or have a poor economic, and they
mm.
need to receive healing as well, and the wealthy people who can uh, pay for it. So that is the main reason I build up this type of, what you can call, group distance healing worldwide. Then I can picking up more people in one go, and they get the same benefit. So
Mm.
those who have money, there is some of them who it's donate, and some people's living in poverty. They're very happy because they have a chance to receive uh, the healing energy and make them to survive their day. So
Mm. But how is your name spread around the world? I mean, is it Swedish people living in different countries, or is it people from different countries, yes, with different nationalities?
Oh, I have Swedish people so living in other countries, but they more or less just sign up on my Swedish homepage, because I have two homepages, one Swedish and one English, and then there's uh, lots of people from, I know, from Philippines, there's from Australia, Malaysia, and you have people from Africa, different places, like in Germany there's a few people, and England there's lots of people, and also in United States where I have lots of people too. So it's basic, more or less, where they speak English, because if they're English speaking, they're searching for the English in the internet. So I have a few in Spanish speaking countries too. So
Have you had any difficulty now as you live in England, or is it still you can continue your work?
yeah, that is no problem. I just need my internet connection so I can receive my email. I can go to a cafe or something with a laptop, and I can just receive my email wherever I am in the world. And I've been doing distance healing in so many different places. My favorite place is to be out in the nature, and one time I booked a bus from Chiang Mai to Bangkok, and I was mixed up with time and things, and there was distance healing. There was that time I was in the bus. I challenged and direct the healing energy from the bus, and so it doesn't matter where I'm sitting in the world. If I should be in the sailing boat in the middle of the Pacific Sea, I mean, there should be working there too, because we are all connected all over the world. So the energy is going where it's going. So.
But how did it begin? You didn't just 2009 begin healing.
No, I started to go some courses in the end of the 90s. There was one psychic lady who told me very strongly why I'm not doing anything with my abilities. I went for a few courses, and then I starting up with healing and practice healing, like a private healing for one person at a time. And then it's there was I was too early out in Sweden, so it was difficult to get client, and then I switching over to distance healing, and then it's working better for me, and it's a little bit like my personality to doing the healing on distance. And before that, with the healing, I probably have the healing ability all my life, because when I was small child, I have very easy connected with animals and with flowers and plants, and my plants grow much faster than my mom's plants. And she asked what I'm doing. I don't know. It's like I have green finger or green thumb, or some say you have a warm hands, and that I can challenge the energy to the plants, so the animals notice my energy. So they've been with me all the time, but then you need to lifting up and do something. And so there was the psychic lady who turned on a switch on me to give me ideas what I can do with my life and with my ability to help people with the healing energy. So
How did you think? Well, I mean, somebody telling you that. Did it feel good, or I mean, how did it feel when she said that?
I was in a time there was a little bit too much, and with the healing, so there was a lot of thinking and lots of research with the healing, and then you're trying out in a small scale with your friends, and they noticed, they could feel a reaction after I give them a healing session, and then sometimes it's a person who can just lift the arm like up no longer, and then the day after they can lift it straight up, then it's the reaction from the healing energy. And the first time this was in the end of the 19th, and you couldn't talk about it to people in Sweden in that time, so you need to keep a low profile. Today it's more easy and more open.
Maybe you were not. It's not so many men doing that. Maybe not in the 90s, at least.
Yeah, there was a few men. There was, I know, around in Sweden who did and practice healing, but there was not many. So it's still today. I have in my network, there is, I think it's about 96% or 90% at least females, and you have maybe 5-10% male in your network who is interesting of this spirituality or healing energy. So it's a small group with men. So.
And do you have any courses, or how do you do the distance healing? But do you do anything else? Do you go out?
I'm a pensioner today, so I don't have any courses yet. You need to have one physical place where you're staying for a longer time, and then you need students there. You can do it online too, but it's a little bit tricky with healing, because you might need some person, and then you need the other in the group to sensing and feeling. How does it feel here? How does it feel here? Does it feel cold or warm if you're sensing somebody's special part of the body? How does the energy change? You can't do that if you have a distance healing, so it's a little bit trickier to learn.
Yeah, of course.
So if you pass that stage, you can sensing the energy from the person, then you can have online courses.
But you go out and speak to people, is it so?
I have done it before, but I haven't done it for many years. So I used to do it when I live in Malmö. I have some lectures and some places around Sweden too. And then it's just sometime when you're invited to friends, there could be a group of people. You have like a mini lecture there for 20 minutes where you explain with the healing and healing energies.
But what was it you were speaking about? Was it healing, or did you?
That's so big subject when once you started and speaking of where the people standing. So healing is just one part of the energy, and then you're coming in with like you working like a medium or psychic, and then it's also how it's connecting with the rest of the world, and then it's coming into aliens too, and you have spirits and angels, and the subject that just growing very quickly for very small subject to a very, very big subject, and then it's to explain and get the big picture of everything. That's very difficult, and I can't explain everything either. So.
No. Maybe it depends how open-minded you are.
Yeah, that is too. The most of the people I'm meeting private, or the friend I have there, are quite open-minded, so I can speak very freely to them.
But I know you. I spoke to you once. I know you said some people, when you speak to them, they wake up, but then they go to sleep again.
Yeah, that's happened, because that is like this was very amazing and at the moment, and then they 1 week later they have 1 week to thinking, and this is against all the logic, so they're just closing down, and they don't believe it.
No, that's straight.
Yeah, no, that's straight. And there was one lecture I have, people are asking about the aura, and then I standing in front of the whiteboard and just telling the people to just look through my face. I put some dots on the whiteboard, so they just keep a focus of the dot on the whiteboard. So my face is a little bit blurry because I'm standing 1 meter away from the whiteboard, and then suddenly they can see like a fog around my shoulders and my head, and everybody in the group saw it. And then there was one man the 1 week after, no, that doesn't exist. He haven't seen anything. And the other time this was a little bit special. There was one lady who was very critical to everything, and I just opened up, and she got the right point, So she saw the full spectrum of the aura in one go.
Oh,
And
what could that be?
I don't know. She probably have the ability, and then I just teaching how to do it, and she just saw full spectrum of the aura, because the rest of the group are talking about the small fog you can see just surrounding the body, and she started talking about color. What color? And that is more like white grays. No, she said blue color there, and then she was far away out from my body, and I say that was very unusual to in one go you get the full spectrum of the hours.
Did she go to sleep again, or?
No, she was fully awake, and because everybody want her to tell how their aura look like, so she was quite busy to do that, so I don't know what's she doing today, so.
But you're moving to Wales to live, is it so?
Yeah, that is my plans, to go to Wales and be close to the nature. So
and what do you think? Do you think anything will change for you there, or will you develop, or have you any future?
quite open-minded. It's a little bit easier if you have the nature on your doorstep. Or you need to drive with the car at least 15 or 30 minutes to come out to the nature. There is it's more easier. And like when I live in Malmö, that's like 300,000 in the population, and you need to. I like to have an escape from the city. I can find spaces around in the city, but sometimes it's disturbed with people. I like to have no people and for long distance. I can just be in my own mind. That is very relaxing. So
maybe the healing when you are in nature will be stronger.
As some people could notice, it's very few if I doing my healing when I'm sitting indoors and outdoors. Because when it's in the summertime, I try to be what you call grounded. So I sitting with my feet or standing bare feet on the ground, and then I'm just connected to the ground and have a more sensation with the Mother Earth.
Mm.
And that is wonderful. That's like good and benefit for all people if they could be more grounded and walking bare feet
Yes,
much as possible. So
it's seldom you do that.
yeah, now that is the rubber soil we have, so we don't get the connection with Mother Earth, we
No.
just disconnected one.
No. What kind of response do you get? Do you get a lot of response from people?
Yeah, there is every week people writing with a response, what's happened to them, and both from Facebook or Instagram or private message, what benefit people get for it. And the typical reaction is people have pain in the body or pain in the joints. That is the day after the pain is reducing 25%, 50%, or they just disappear for a few days and then it's coming back again. And people with a sleeping problem, many of them, they just sleep flat out during all the night. So they get that benefit. And then you have like a psychology or mental problem. People get more relaxed, and also to cope up with the day, they could be surrounding with stress. There could be family related stress, and there could be stress at the work, it could be economic stress or whatever. And there is so many different stories what people telling to you. Some of them are writing on Facebook, and you can find too in my web page in the testimonials or deltagarberättelser in Swedish, what people have written about their experience from the healing. And that is just a very tiny little bit I doing for them, but they get a great response for it.
So you really do a lot for people.
Yeah, I do, and I help them to get a connection with this healing energy, because how I say it, that is themselves who is the healer, because there's body, mind, and spirits. They know what's wrong with them, and they know where they need the healing energy. I just transport, or what you call channeling and direct the healing, and I'm like the switch on the internet. I just make things happen. They sign up, and they know with the night healing, that is that time during the sleep, they're more receptive for the healing energy, so they get it. They could get at 2 o'clock in the night, 1 o'clock, 3 or 4 o'clock, and I don't know their sleeping pattern. Some people going to bed late, and some going to very early, because they have to go to work 5 o'clock in the morning, and then you have all the different time zones. So I can't cope with that, so that's why I'm doing the healing in advance. So
Mm.
it's working, and if it's working and it's working fine as this way, I don't change my concept. I just carry on and do it week after week after week. So
Yeah, you've done it for a lot of years now, so you must
yeah,
enjoy it as well.
yeah, no, it's like one of my routines. I don't thinking about it. I just know Monday is my healing day, and I just to prepare myself for go out in the nature and sit somewhere. So
So, for those who don't know who you are, where do they find you?
they find me on my webpage. It's thormidwind.sa, or they just Google Thor Midwind and they find me, or Thor. I think Thor Healing will work too, at least if you write in Thor Distance Healing.
Mm.
They will find me
Yeah.
there.
Tor, before we end this interview, is there anything you would like to share, or something I haven't asked you, or anything you?
Yeah, there's some people I know they have been inspiration of my healing, and they like to do healing, and I always telling people to who is interesting to start up with a healing is to check out what healing method who is gain them best, because there's so many way to practice the healing. It could be
Mm.
1 hour more talking about all the different way to do healing, and then there's one book it's called The Gift. I don't know the title in English. It's The Gift to Give Healing. It's written with Gerard Lowe, and it's just a simple book how he explain about healing and how is healing it's working, and it's not magical things what's happened, because there have been ability for the human being for since the beginning of the human, so it's nothing special. The only things make it special because people have they they lost the ability to practice the healing, because we're living in city, and we are told to not believe about those supernatural things what is actually natural. So all people have the ability to do healing more or less. Some of them it's getting better than ever. That is with all skills you have in the life. You can be best in everything.
No.
So that is what I recommend people is to, who is interesting, it's to go out and Google about different healing methods and find out what's suit best for them.
Because you are not a shaman, va? Are you? I don't really know a shaman what they are, but are you a shaman or?
No, I don't use title
No.
by myself, and the shaman it's from the Tunguska in Russia. It's like what you can call a medicine man or a spiritual man, and I don't use that as a title. And shaman is also, if you should use the word shaman, that is the tribe who declare that the person is a shaman. I can't go courses and title myself as a shaman. That is my way how I see it. So I'm just Thor who is making the distance healing every week, and I'm challenging and direct the healing. So
I
don't
think you do a lot for people, and you do a lot for spirit world,
yeah,
helping people.
Yeah, I try to do my best, and I find it's quite interesting because when you speaking of people with spirituality and those matter, if they're interesting and they're asking questions, they're more interesting to interact and knowing more things about it. If you have a other subject in the conversation, they're fading out quick. But when you're going into the spiritual matter, that seems like you interact with the people, and in the other way you make a bond in the other way. So it's quite interesting, and it's a big world, and you more you learn, you more you realize there's even more to learn, and you're going back with a culture from thousands and thousands of years, and you find out we are much older than we learn in the school book. So that's the other story, but it's very interesting. So
it's a large, what do you say, subject, spirit, and everything. You can talk about a lot of things.
Yeah, and then it's you have the different disciplines for it too, and you have for the different culture, and so this is very very interesting. So it's,
I usually tell people why I do these interviews. Maybe somebody will listen to this video and not the other videos.
yeah.
But the reason I do these interviews is because of Elaine Thorpe, who is a trance medium, and she brings in her spirit guide named Jonathan Hunt, who is a Victorian man. And when we had a session here with him, he said that I would interview other mediums and spreading their work. So that's how I got into this. And then one day I thought, I'm going to see if Thor Midwind would like to do this interview, because I have used you on healing, and I have read of you some Swedish spiritual magazines, and so I thought I'll ask you if you would like to be in this interview, and you said yes. So that's the reason.
Yes, my pleasure to be here. So thanks.
Yeah. So I think we people who don't know you know a little bit more of you.
Yeah, and they can always go into my webpage and have a look, and it's thormidwind.se, and there is a link to my Swedish site if there's any Swedish viewers who like to read it in Swedish. So.
There were some Swedish people asked me where the video was that I made last with you, but we had to remove it, and I'm not so technisk. So they said, "Where is the video? We want to listen to it." But I said, "We're doing a new one, so I guess this one works. I hope so."
I'm sure it's worked this time.
Yes, we have spirit wizards.
Yes.
They're helping us.
But be positive.
Thor, I hope to maybe see you again sometime.
Yeah, and I would like to do that too, to see you in the future.
We never know if we can meet sometime in the future. You never know what happens. No, but I would like to thank you for.
And thank you too. So.
Yeah, and I'll say goodbye for this evening.
Yeah, goodbye, and thank you for the interview with me. So.
Yeah, and I hope you will settle well in Wales.
Yeah, I will do my best, and it's going to be a real good place for me there. So.
Yeah, maybe you will run into Tom Jones.
I don't know. There's possible chance. I don't know where he's living today.
He lives in Wales, I think. Well, take good care.
Yeah, take care. Thank you very much, to be in your YouTube channel.
Yeah, and thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.